Hi! Good day, salutations and greetings. My name's Marge. Sometimes I go by Standing Turtle. Not very often, though. Got my little necklace, Standing Turtle. Standing Turtles don't run. I hate running. I got bad ankles. Anyway, I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. And being an empath, Hailka empath, we're all empath. We all are. Everybody is. Everybody feels, can pick up on other people's joys and get excited with other people for their happiness and accomplishments and reaching goals and stuff like that. Or some people choose when other people are happy, they feel bad for them, or they feel they're jealous, so they resent the person in joy because they don't know how to receive it themselves. And that's what I've been trying to do, is learn how to receive joy without it's been a hard road because I'm in a lot of physical pain, and I know a lot of other people are in a lot of physical pain, and it's so hard to get to the place of joy when you're just hurting, when you're just hurting. So I've learned and gathered tools along my path in life to collect tools on how to alleviate pain, suffering. Pain is inflammation. Pain is heat. Pain is a vibrational frequency. Usually it's derived from fear. Usually people have fear when they don't have faith, when they don't have anything to believe in that is going to let them, that's going to assure they're going to be okay. See, I was being more of a spiritual being than having a human experience, than a human being having a spiritual experience, and it's hard to find other people like me. It's not to say that I haven't found them. It's just hard, and people are really fearful because they don't have faith. And a lot of bad things have happened to people in life. A lot of bad, me included. I haven't avoided being handled by people that weren't for my best interest. Hi, Benno. There's a good boy, Beanie. There's a good boy, Beanie. Medicine's coming, Beanie. So, I was listening to some talks on Twitter today that Jesse was posting up, and I've been hanging out in Twitter because it's a different venue, and it's a lot different than it was when I dabbled back in 2016. That's for sure. Let's see. I made a couple of notes. I could start with that. I was just watching Pockets of the Future, and he was talking about this, the gas, the masks and the vaccine and stuff like that. And the thing is I had all these life experiences, so it's harder. I mean, not that I can't find good people in the world, but it's, when you're just have seen so much dastardly, you're just a little bit more skeptical. And what I used to do is I just used to trust everybody. I just would be like, oh, if they're talking to me, they're a trustworthy person. And then I had to learn my life lessons related to that. Let's see, just because I didn't... Oftentimes I talk about my experiences and how they're part of the spectrum that a lot of people don't recognize, because most people I went to going to school growing up in Northern California, in Redding, California. There's always only 60,000. It wasn't a very big town, and it was always, everybody knew then that government ran the place. So I just figured if it happened in Redding, it was like that everywhere, that people are elected, and this judge is a Masonic. I just figured everybody knew what was up, and that's not the case. And so fast forward 20, 30, 40, 30 years, looking at the mainstream, and there are aspects of life that I didn't believe were true. Like when I'd go over to people's houses, and the mom and dad and siblings, and they had the cookie cutter family, and everything was great, and son did sports, and daughter did whatever, cheerleading, or did, and everybody had their role, and they did what they were supposed to do in their role, and everybody complied. There's this thing that's in us, though. There's this thing that's in every single human being, and that is a spirit. And spirits are intended to be expansive and to experiment and grow and evolve and have experiences in life, you know. And I ain't never really been big on the Bible and religion. I'm reading the Bible now. I'm getting more into it now. I'm starting to study them now. It's like a code book to me. It's kind of neat. So is all the calculators, like gematria, all that stuff. I didn't even know about that. But I think people are being activated by their DNA, by their bloodline. So I'm Native American, so that's, for me, that story is all about speaking my truth and my peace, and in a peaceful way, because I am Native. I'm like a spiritual warrior. I have so much masculine energy in me that I didn't even know what to do with it for years and years and years. I didn't even know about it. I didn't know that women and men, or every single being on this earth has masculine and feminine energy until I found out. You know, so I always denied my feminine because I looked at it as weakness, because I always saw what men did to women because they were stronger than them. And it was always nasty. A lot of it was nasty and gross, so, you know. But being a female, you know, I couldn't take on those ways, thank God. But what I would do is, you know, I'd get picked on a lot and stuff like that. People bullied me all the time. That's why I'm so freaking sharp with my tongue, because you know, people pick on me, and I feel them. I get a sense, and I'll just say that one thing that just is like, leave me the fuck alone. You know, you shouldn't even be bothering me anyway. You shouldn't be hurting people. You shouldn't harm people. You shouldn't be picking on people. People should be building and lifting people up. But you got a couple different kinds of people in this world. You got the kind of people that believe that everybody should be free and that there's enough for everybody, and it's not just lip service. You know, seeing billionaires and actors and stuff talking about freaking how they care about shit. You know, I just want a fucking place to live. I just want a fucking place to go. I'm really starting to get fucking stressed out about it. Just somebody fucking come in and say, I have money. I have money. I have money. Just somebody come in and say, here, Marge, you and your mom and your dogs can live here, please. Fuck, it's so stupid, man. And then when it's election years, and they throw around millions and billions, you know, and then it's a slap in the face, because then I get notifications from freaking, look at this. Oregon, you're so good, Oregon, with all your freaking gazillions of dollars, billions of dollars, billion-dollar bailouts. There's only Yep, 4.2 billion people, 4.2 million people in the whole state of Oregon. Yet they get billions, and people can't even get. You know how many people haven't even gotten their pay for freaking unemployment because the blue bloods, the blue lizard, draconian loving freaking people want everything closed because they want the suffering. They want the people in the streets because it's easier to take the people from the streets and do their evil bidding. Dude, it's everywhere. I mean, the corruption, it's disgusting what is allowed. And look at all the people that just go, Ruth, that some old lady died. Oh, but her years of it. No, she controlled that seat. See, there's an idea of a rotation of service, that if the ideologies rotate, then the times can change. But you get these bureaucrats that put themselves in the positions, and then they get there, and then they make their deals, and then they blackmail, and they do all these things to stay in their position of power, so they ruin shit and cause pain and strife, and that's Satan's bidding. They're all doing Satan's bidding because God wants everyone to feel safe. And how many people on the planet right now are not feeling safe? And you can have all the fucking guns you want. You can have all the arsenal. You can have all that you want. You can have all you want. But when you know what? When you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So, I like writing. I like using my words, you know. But the thing of it is you use your words to people and they get so triggered they want to physically. No, but people can say whatever they want to me. They have. I've been raped as a 10-month-old baby. I've seen my mother raped. I've seen my mother get freaking abused. I've been abused. I mean, this was all before 12 years old. Okay? So people living in your cookie cutter lifestyles up in your glass houses where no, that shit don't happen. More of us are starting to come out, you know, and some of us are okay because some of us have a faith in God. Some of us gave our lives over to God. And, you know, I made the mistake of turning my back because I was like, I can do this because this is my ego. I can do this. And I live for the dark. I live for ego. I didn't live for Satan, but the behaviors that I were doing were perpetuating the deeds that he wants done. So what I had to do is, because I don't want to do his deeds, I got to change my behavior so I can't be angry. Justifiable or otherwise. I'm also an alcoholic that doesn't drink. And the thing about alcoholism, it's a dastardly foe that it will grow the disease, dis-ease. The dis-ease grows in you into a bigger dragon. So when you do drink, you need more to soothe the beast. And drinking is toxin. So I will always be an alcoholic because the dragon is always right there, you know, of if I'm going to feed it or not. Because if I want to live into ego, I think about how successful my sibling is, where he is high up in government, and then I was just like, holy shit, he sacrificed his mother and his sister for his career because he's turned his back on us. Because he could help us in a heartbeat, but he wants to teach me a lesson. I'm like, how many fucking lessons do I need? You know, when I told him, because he never knew, I'm like, dude, you know, he's like, you need to get over your past. I'm like, dude, I said, you have no idea the shit I've gotten over and gotten past, you know, and I started naming him, you know, like when he's like, Margie, that's terrible. I hope you've gotten professional help for that. Okay, thanks for the post-it Virgo answer, you know what I mean? I mean, just based on that, you know, if fucking somebody I know, I'd do whatever I can to just, you've had a shit life, what can I do to make it better, you know? And I'm trying to help people to make their lives better and to not get stuck in, I ain't no victim. Even when I was a baby, I wasn't a victim, you know? I ain't never been a victim. And that's why when people say, you have victim mentality and you're stuck in trauma and all that stuff, dude, that just tells me that that's what they do. Because people recognize in you what they hate in themselves. I've done it my whole life. I hated everybody. I hated people for having families and support systems. I hated them. Why did they get that? They're a total asshole. You know, I hated all these guys in these men groups that I worked in, military, you know. I didn't hate them, but I was just jealous and resented them a lot. Because, you know, I listened to the way they talked to their wives, about their wives and their kids, you know, and then we'd have like shop picnics and stuff like that, or office picnics and stuff like that, and then I'd see how good their family was to them, and then I'd hear the shit that they talked, you know, because they're the toxic being, and it's just like, people got it so good, they don't even know how good they got it. Anyway, I wanted to talk about how they fudge numbers. They always been fudging numbers. Remember when you were a little kid and you'd go into a candy store, gas station, I'd get any kind of money, I'd get candy at the gas station. Ed at Chevron was his name, old dude in the 70s, 80s, he was there for freaking, you know, we'd bring him down plates of food for Thanksgiving and stuff, because he just always worked, you know, he's just a real nice guy and stuff, you know, so, you know, now it's all changed and stuff right now, but these are like memories that I hold. So, what was the point of me telling that? Oh, so you go down, you know, and then like you have the price of something. You have the price of something, right? And then you have, and what happens is like, there's certain environments, like, you know, when you're poor, there's the whole car situation. You usually get crappy cars, and you got to keep the cars running and do what you can to keep the cars running. Well, working on cars isn't real hard to do. But, like, my mom couldn't do it. She didn't know. She probably would have done it if she would have been educated. So, but she'd always have to rely on the kindness of people, you know. And then when people need help, You have the helpers that help because they've been in shitty situations that legitimately help. And those are the ones that I implore to, because that's what I'm trying to be. And then you have those, the seedy, nasty, dark, evil motherfuckers that do shit and come up with stuff like take it out and trade. Oh, you can't, you know, I could do this to help you because you're a single mother to fix your car, and it ain't nothing for me to do it, and I could do it for $5, you know, 6-pack, whatever, you know. But the evil doers, they don't do shit like that. They always do shit like, oh, well, it's gonna cost you $100, but that ain't the truth. But I'll tell you what, I'll give you a deal if we take it out and trade. That means you have to. It's like exchanging things for, you know. And this is the way that the world has always been. People have always used sex to get themselves in higher advantage. I haven't. So that's probably why I'm at where I'm at, you know, because I ain't never used devious means and ways. I don't like manipulating people. That's another reason why I'm in the position the way I am, because I am so full board that I tell people exactly I am in this duress and I need, you know, and then that is, if I'm dealing with somebody of a low vibrational frequency, they're the ones that don't help me. And people have put themselves in positions of authority in governments, sheriff, police, that don't help people because they're evil. And everybody has free choice. You can live with from your spirit, but people freely choose not to help people, and that is fucking straight up evil. It's evil. Not helping people is evil. It's like throwing out a freaking life raft, you know, and then throwing out the rope too. It's like, there you go. Sit, now do what you're gonna do. You know, it's weird. The wicked heart is just weird. I like. Okay, so getting back to my fudging numbers. So when growing up in that small town, I've always kept an eye on Reading because I grew up there. And I moved out to Omaha, and Omaha's a big city. It could, ish bigger than Reading, you know. Only has I think it has 1 million people. No, I don't. When I lived there, it only had 800,000 people in the city, but all the outline, it made it bigger, But think about of all the people that live in Nebraska, and all the people that live in rural states, Montana, like Oregon. There ain't no freaking way there's 38 million people in California. There's no. Think about 38 million people standing in a coliseum, how much space that would take on the map. I mean, you could see 38, if you put them all in one space, you could see that many people from space. So spatially in California, with all the accommodations and stuff like that, they've been making up, and that's what they do. It's like, they always inflate numbers. That's why I hated economics and history. I hated those two courses because they're made up reindeer games. They're made up by people that make up rules without any higher governance of moral or ethic backing, and then they're just they round up, and then they started rounding up more and more and more. And then they're like, well, we need these budgets and these numbers, which is also a made-up reindeer game. Money ain't shit. Money is... That's why it is so freaking insane to me that these evildoers have so much of it, and the freaking good people don't, because we're supposed to be made to turn bad. They've been trying to turn me my whole entire life. They've been trying to break my spirit. They've been trying to break my spirit by not helping me, and there are times that they almost did. When I lived here, when I thought the VA came after me and said, "We don't believe that your migraines are related to your back injury," and so I had to go through and prove what I already proved, and I already don't have the rating I deserve. Okay, because that system again is broke because they are designed to pay themselves, not to help veterans. This is never about helping people. It's always about creating the organizations, buying the fleets, doing all the things to say they help people. It never fucking trickles down, y'all. It never trickles down. It hasn't in 250 years. That's why it's so rad that frickin' DT's come in, because he ain't a politician. He's a real estate agent. He's a businessman. And see, what he's doing is he's calling out all of these people that have done these freaking, he's saving kids. And that alone, and all this stuff that he's done in his past, you know, I've done talks where I've freaking, like, well, you got to give people the benefit of the doubt. Just because they were like that before doesn't mean they're like that now. You know, what are they doing now? And then you look at the stuff like the gun guy and the Tegan bitch. I got to think of a better name for her. Because I can't even say her name. Blech. Name of Jesus Christ, everybody can say it. She's freaking wicked. All of them are. They all are. They don't have any vibration. They're so fake. You really gonna think that people are truly authentically care about people when they are paid millions of dollars to act a certain kind of way? Really? Come on, and I'm the fucking fool? I'm the idiot? I'm the dummy? You know, come on, people. I mean, Catholic churches. Well, you don't think that, yeah, they're the people that believe, you know, the goodness of it, but they're the people that live in the darkness of that goodness, and they have benefited in the sexual deviation and the perversion, and they're your priests and they're your Catholics and they're your uncles, and you know, everybody knows who the perverts are, but people, no, it's loyalty. The people who've been loyal to the perverts. They've been loyal to the perverts, and that is just sickening. And see, because I've been attracted, I just have all seen all the shit, and, you know, all the paradigms, because I'm just a gay girl, you know. I'm smart. I'm not a chump. I'm not a dummy. So, you know, strong men like to freaking, like, you know, they say the cat, like, smells fear. They say cats smell fear and lower vibrational, and that, you know, I believe that they protect me from, my cat protects me from demons and stuff like that. Because he's, you know, he can recognize the wicked, so he chases it off. He ain't a wicked cat. He recognizes it, and people do that too. And he recognizes lower vibrational frequencies than I do sometimes, you know, and things I can't see, and he can, you know. And so that's why he sleeps all day, because he's up all night protecting me and Mom and stuff in the night, you know. And cats have been reported that they can smell fear, and that's why they toy with the mouth. So if you got a dark cat, you know, that likes, you know, they'll toy with the mouth long time, stretch it out. Well, people have that same vibrational frequency, and they like to toy with things, and they like to torture things, and they like to kill things, and they like to breathe their soul into into them. So it's just something else that they control. I help things pass all the time, just because I don't want things to be scared, you know. And so, when I hold my breath when a being takes theirs, because I want them to be free. I want them to pass on to the solar system. I don't want them to get caught up in me. Their spirit, their soul is to be free. It's not mine. It's not mine to contain. So I'll hold my breath when people, and I'll say a prayer, and then when they, yeah. Because we don't get to control things. And so there's two kinds of people in the world. Those that like to control. I think people like to be controlled too. I don't. But I have seen people that like to be controlled. It's really weird. It's weird. It's that whole dominant. It's that whole I ain't into it. I ain't never been into it. And people know I ain't into it. So then I get less invited to places, because Marge is just like, oh, Marge is too good. Marge is too good for this. Marge is too, you know. It's like, no, I just don't fucking harm kids, animals, because I've been harmed, and I've seen other people do it, and it's just, it's gross. You know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my spirit to accept the vibrational frequency of love, because it's been something that I haven't been comfortable with doing my whole entire life. So that's why I started doing these videos a few years back, because I ain't around my nieces, and I want them to one day be able to see, you know, the time that we were away, that I did love them, and I was still trying to live as a person that they could be proud of one day, that they don't have to say, you know, like, deny that I'm related to them and stuff. You know, I'm trying to make, just trying to be a good guy, person, you know. I made a little note earlier, when you meant it in the moment, because sometimes I say things and they're matters of facts, but they're freaking mean. They're mean. I say mean things. And then I feel so bad. I feel so bad about it. So what I'm learning to do is I'm learning to come from my heart and come from God and not from fear. Because when I say mean things, I'm just being scared about shit. I'm just scared about shit. But if I come from a place of faith, I'm not scared. And I can be a little bit more kind and loving. And allow for things. And then understand maybe. And not react so much. And knowing that when somebody's hurt and ugly to me, that maybe they're scared. Maybe if I can show them a little kindness, that we can come through this fear together without, with the compromise and whatnot. So that's what I'm trying to do, is not say, because that's when the devil wins. Whenever I say those mean things, it's when the devil wins. But if I cannot, but see, when I hold it in, that's why I'm trying to figure out other ways. Like I'll clap my hands, I'll be like, bah, because it's that energy. There's energy, it's an impulse. Energy is an impulse, and then people react based on their impulses, and then, self-will run riot. This is the whole world we get. I mean, when I lived up in Omaha, we'd drive up long weekend Minnesota, check out Mall of America, stuff like that. It's wholesome, quiet little community, and it's just like the darkness has been allowed to seep in all areas. And the thing of it is, it's always been there. It just has gotten out of control. Because people straight up have been glorifying Satan over God. They straight up have. I watched a video last night where this guy put, I shouldn't watch this stuff before bed. Subscriptions. Where was it? I like Roman in the San Francisco School for the Dada. I figured out what his stuff is. It's the thing from yeah. So I'm figuring it out. There's so much stuff I don't know. I'm not going to be able to find it. Weekend Warrior. All your stars belong to us. And it's like all these memes with the quotes from all those. And they're in all the ones that, I'm like, I haven't liked Eminem for years. I remember the first time I heard the Slim Shady song, I was driving back, I was a credit card vendor. I ain't repenting for that. I got, how many people did I get, kids at college campuses, did I get caught up, in credit card debt, now I got debt, and I can't. My credits, I went from an 830 credit score, I think I got a 620 now. I don't know. But it's just like, it's made up shit. I pay my bills because I know the consequence of what happens when you don't. And the thing of it is when these entities start asking more. That's why I don't have waters, because they did this plan outside of my house, and they started freaking spraying watering on time sprinklers. The plants that they put in, because it was some freaking city planner's freaking C-D- pet project, and it's shit. I did a whole talk about it called My Account. I take it outside, I show you all the design flaws in it, do the whole thing, and they ain't come back and take care of it, it's a mess out there. And so, but my water usage went on that, and I had to make the decision to feed my dogs or to keep paying and they don't carry a loan. They wouldn't, like, you can go down to this church and get a voucher. Why are you fucking making me go through it? I'm a fucking veteran. I'm trying to take care of my mom. Haven't I gone through enough of your little freaking pony shows and shit, And I still haven't had running water for 3 years. But isn't that great that the state, ODAT, Oregon Department of Transportation, they're going around, they're cutting around trees on people's yards for free. Because, with the fires, and because they didn't do this shit before, so now they got to backpedal. Because they didn't fucking they didn't do all the work that they paid themselves millions of dollars of budgets to take care of. And so now they're going, but it's like, hey, can old Marge get a hot shower? It's just, people can help people if they want. And then there's whole cities and governments that just, and is it why? Is it because I'm brown? Is it because I'm Native American? You know, is the race card real? I didn't think it was because I never treated people based on their color. I treated them on how they felt. Some people feel evil, like Bill Cosby. 2 years old, I'd point at the TV and go, bad eyes, bad eyes. 2 years old, Bill Cosby. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can get duped too because I look at the goodness in people and then they turn around and come up and smack me upside the front side of the head with their freaking darkness and saying, I did it right in front of you. I told you I was going to do it. You know, but I believe in the good in people. She's in the talkie room. Whew. Morning, Autumn. Yeah, people that don't. Those are the withholders. The withholders. They're just as freaking dastardly. People that withhold. Yeah, I feel people holding me up, man, because I'm holding. It ain't me holding myself up right now. It's all the people holding me. It's Fragile scent flowers, and it's the it's not me that's holding. I don't. That's the thing that's the beautiful part about me figuring all this stuff out is I ain't never been holding me up. It's never been my strength that has gotten me through anything. It's always been the strength of God that's been working through me. It ain't never been me. God is my pilot. I am God's co-pilot. See, we all have the same stories. I turned my back on God. You know, I did what everybody else wanted me to do. Love to you in Boston, Grand Primo. Hi, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for hanging out with me sometimes. I appreciate that. Dan, I've known a lot of different Dans. See, that's the thing is like some people meet them by name, and it's like, every person you met was the same, like with that name, like they all acted the same, kind of. And then you have other people that are full spectrum, I don't know. I'm getting off here. Yeah, no victims here. I ain't no victim. Freaking suck that V word up your V-hole. Yeah, love and light to everyone here in the chat room today. Yeah, it's the thing is we all been dumbing ourselves down. Yeah. And I have had to stop doing it. Yeah, it's freaking a disgrace, man. There's so many veterans in the street, and it kills me because I'm not even the one. I got an award. I got a big bad award. I packed it away. All my stuff is packed. My everything's packed. Like this, my room. All I got to do is freaking drag out the stuff, and it's all. Anyway, getting off track. Focus, Marge. Where we go when we go, we were all connected. Is that when I came back from there was an earthquake in Greece. I was listening to Paul Butler this morning. There's an earthquake in Greece this morning, and he called it the divine feminine portal. Now, I think there's portal. People can have different ideologies about different things. I look at portals like I can look at a portal like if you see a man. Like at a diner or something, and they're playing old-timey music, and an old song comes on, and you can, say it's his wedding song, okay? And he lost his wife not too long ago. They were married 47 years, and that's all he knew. And you see a man listen to his, and you see him go through a portal of his whole life, listening to his wedding song with his wife. You can see that. You can see that in people's faces. Stories play out. I can. I don't know, maybe everybody can. I can. So people are like, portals don't exist. Portals are, it's how you receive things. There's good and bad in everything, okay? So you can use portals in the dynamic Satan ways that the dynamic Satanists use, or you can use them in the way that the good light workers do, It's just what you're drawn to. Everything exists. It's what connotation you're going to put on it. Are you going to put on it a negative connotation or a positive connotation? I didn't watch the video of some lady having a meltdown about some 87-year-old politician passing on to heaven to freaking pay for her transgression. Because, you know, with all these people that are if they were that wonderful, if they were that great, would the country be as shit as it is now? I don't think so. I don't think if one person was as wonderful and exceptional as all the money and stuff that they go in for their pony show of their funeral, put them, you know, because people are dying in the streets every day, but because she's a politician, you know, and how much stuff is going to be ignored? How much stuff isn't going to be reported because people are going to be looking at the same pony show, the same attention deserved? You know, what else is going on? Anyway, I'm getting too far ahead. So Paul Butler was talking about how Crete is the portal for the divine feminine. It is a portal for the divine feminine, and there is an earthquake near the island of Crete. Now, when I was in Operation Iraqi bullshit for Baby Bush and the rest of the mongers to make all their money for no particular reason, and to dishevel and break the psyche of young men, continue to perpetuate the whole system, because if you make people crazy, then you can create a system to help the crazy, but they never help the crazy, because it's a spiritual abnormality. See? Mental duress, it's all spiritual abnormalities. It's all because people don't have a faith, and they see that all the powers that say, we're here to help, they're not really here to help. So that creates a lot of cognitive dissonance. It makes people crazy to see. I mean, look at all the non-profits that are is not one of them is to help freaking women. I look, is there a non-profit to help women that are being displaced, that are taking the care of their elderly mother? Are there nonprofits for that? Is there one single nonprofit for that in the whole fucking world? Huh? Are there? If there are any that you know of, could you let me know? You know, because they don't have services for things like that. You know, and those are the people that have it, you know. And their IT, their human computer. See, I'm an IT professional. Human computer interface. It's a choose your own adventure game without an ending. It's like just goes down to how many websites do you go to? It's like a constant loop. And if you have to call somebody, you don't get a hold, because companies like Westcorp are invented where they create automated systems that create a loop. You can't. So there's really 382 million people in the United States, really, because I can't get a hold of any. So that leads me to believe that they make up a lot more shit, you know, based on their positions of authority and who they think that they are. The power is vested in themselves, not vested by the people. And see, there are checks and balances in a universal way that are supposed to be put in place to keep this from happening. And those ain't got. And thank God to DT, because he's opening up all this stuff. You know why they have kids in tunnels? It's all for Satan. It's all for Satan. And, you know, look at all the companies and industries that perpetuate it, that benefit from glorifying Satan. You know, I never liked that Eminem. He's Eminem, Beyond. You know, look at them all. It's all the ones that fill up the stadiums for Satan, because they're taking your life force energy, your excitement about things, woo, and they're putting it in a bank, an energy bank, and look at it like a scale. Well, if all these, you know, if I'm for Satan and all these people are for me, yay, Team Satan. You know. And now people can't church. They can't pray in churches. You know, even Satan even mega church. You Satan. You Satan. You keeping more for yourself than giving people in need. And that Ostentine dude freaking straight up locked his doors because he didn't want the people that gave him millions muddying up his carpets. Satan. Hindering is Satan. Helping is God. Hindering Satan. Helping's God. It's very quite elementary. It's very quite elementary. It really is. And how much do people need to live on in life? You know, when people got millions in the bank, what are you going to use that for? How long do you think you're going to live, and what are you going to use that for? And you think that you're going to need that for your kids' college anymore? Because it's all coming down, folks. It's all coming down. Think about how many freaking homeless people could be housed in freaking in in all these official buildings and stuff that they use 8 hours a day. Isn't that an imbalance in itself? Look, you take all the taxpayers' money to build yourself buildings and give yourself office furniture and letterheads and change it all the time and have pizza parties and do all that stuff for places that people sit in for 8 hours. You know, when there's people without homes for 24. And I'm getting nervous because it's like 11 days, you know. I gotta leave this place before the 1st, whether I have a place to go or not. It's the reality. I'm thinking about putting all my stuff in storage and then just getting a little camping trailer so I can put Mom in, honestly. Because it's so funny because of all the people I have known in my whole life that have always been so powerful. I mean, heads of companies, you know, millionaire, just, you know, could come in and could just done anything just to help a nice little dumb girl like me. But everybody wants to teach me a lesson, you know, or I'm not family, and we're not related. And that makes it hard because I have somebody of that powerful position right now that could help me and just doesn't want to because they got to teach me a lesson and see what I can get myself out of. And I've been trying, and quite frankly, I'm going to have to turn it over to God because I don't even know if I have the strength to do it myself. Come on, Tessa. Come on, Bubba's. Come on, babies. Good boy. He said, Mama, don't cry. Come on, Bubba's. Come on. Oh, that's the 30-minute mark. We got to go soon. Get ready for eggs for breakfast, huh, buds? Sweet puds. Sweet Bubba's. Little old dogs. I'm real worried about Sass, too, man. Anyway, today, I have faith. Today, I have people in my chat group that come visit me and listen to me talk, watch me cry and shit like that, you know. Today, yeah, I don't mourn her death. She's just another freaking person that didn't do me no favors, you know. Trying to make like, yeah, Mary. You know, it's funny. Mom always because people always said how young she looked. She always had a real youthful look. Still does, and I was like, Mom, you're gonna be 70 this year. And she's like, tell him I was a child bride at 12. I'm like, Mom, we can't say that anymore because those realities of those truths have come up too much. Eminem just came on in my ear right now. I do have a song of his, Mockingbird, because I got reminded of what I can be, of when I let when my ego runs riot. But like, there's other artists that I deleted all the way. I can't even hang with any. I had albums of Lady Gaga, gone, no more. I don't like what she turned into, so I can't freaking endorse what she was based on who she is. You know, and because of she's growing more into the darkness. 911. Who are you kidding? You think you're the only one because you got money? You think you're the only one that knows about this stuff? You playing with fire. Damnation. Oh, people are. Nothing good comes from that, man, except for money, property, and prestige. I'm yelling timber. That's actually, I like that song. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel scooped up. Hey, homie, what's up? What's up, homie? Glad you're here, homie. I haven't listened to Miss Sharon yet. House of Prayer. She always puts my heart at ease, man. Thank you for introducing me to her. She puts my heart at ease. So, my mom was adopted, so I didn't have grandparents on her side really. They kicked her out at 18. They got all their benefits from taking in a Native American, and so when they were done with her, they gave her a suitcase and not much knowledge in her heart and kicked her out. So, dad's side, I was just a weird kid, you know. I was just a weird kid. People didn't understand me. I always spoke from my heart, and I always talked about, you know, the heart space in which people were coming from. And so I read people, and then I was spooky. I was psychic, and I was spooky, and so. And they didn't. I was always one of those that they didn't want to deal with. But then they fought so hard with the custody suits and stuff like that. But then I figured out what that was all about too. That wasn't about us. I wasn't about us either, so. Anyway, I hope you're doing good. I've been thinking about you so much in the hurricanes down there, and all everybody down there, you know, and all the stories that are coming out based on that triggers, because of the hurricanes down there. I remember Katrina, and I remember how they sat on it, how the administration sat. I'm like, go in there and get helicopters and get these people out of there. That's what the freaking military. Why aren't they doing this? Couldn't understand it. Why aren't they doing this? Go help those people, save them at all costs. Save people, save people. And you know what they did? They went to Haiti, because that was at the same time. So they went to Haiti, and you know what they did? They took people from Haiti, because because when the dark, because you know, you could be the light and go in and help people, and they didn't do that. They were the darkness, and they went in and they took people, because when there's ever a catastrophe, they go in and they say, we're here to help, and then they take the children, and then they take the people, and then they do terrible, horrific things to the people and the children for their own evil, dark bidding. And then they tell you it's for your own good, and they're just there to help. So yeah, you know, it's really cool that it's mainstream, that freaking people are talking about Obama and his husband Mike, you know, and their fake kids. You know, how come you don't see anything about, you know, what the, you know, all the other politicians? You see what happens with the kids, what the kids are doing after, you know, office and stuff, but nothing, because it ain't their kids. It ain't their story. It's all Hollywood. It's all lights and mirrors, and gets you to think a certain way. Well, people like me look at that stuff and say, no, that's bullshit. That ain't real. That ain't true. Yeah, no, it's real. It's true. No, it's not real. And here's why. And that shit ain't true. And so you all been lying about stuff. So you all need to be coming out of your. See, the thing is, DT always paid. He always went to the parties and stuff like that, and he paid attention, because he and I are close in hearts. He and I have like 3 major aspects together in astrology. So I know how he thinks, because I think like him, based on our astrology charts. You can know how people think based on their astrology, because people have potential. Either they're going to act in fear, or they're going to act in faith. And if their history is always designated that they've come from a fearful place, because that's what I did. I always came from fear. I would just react to people, without hitting and being violent, but I would react. Well, that is the devil working for me, because I'm not coming from a place of spirit. So these are the life lessons I had to learn. But I had to get into my chart to recognize these places. I'm just being me. I'm just being me in fear when I act from a devil's tongue. I'm just being me from God, source, creation, when I'm coming from a kind, softer, more loving way. But how was I supposed to learn what loving was if I never felt it? I never felt what being loved was. You know, I didn't even get my own toys. I just got a different color of the same toy that my brother got. But it was cool, because I like boys' toys, and I don't think he really ever did much. Because I like trucks and stuff like that. He'd just always go, he's a Virgo, he'd rather go read a book. Go, you know, study something. And I'm Aries, so I was always more active, out riding my bike, getting rid of all of my life force, kundalini energy that people couldn't tolerate. It's just always go away, go away, go away. So I went away, and then I just educated myself. And then I'd start to hang out with, you know, find the older people to hang out with. You know, the old guy that freaking like would make sure that all the kids at Charlie, he in Project City growing up. Project City, he always made sure all the poor kids had a bike, you know. Everybody had a bike, and then he taught me how to fix my bike, you know, stuff like that. So the angels, you know, divide, you know, but you got to be careful, because you have the darkness that seeks the goodness, and then they try to take the goodness for you, and that's what they've been trying to do, take my goodness my whole life, and I won't let them. I got to take a moment to thank those of you contributed to helping me. When I say I need a place to live, I have about $5,000 in the bank that I've been saving, because I don't do nothing. I spend money on flour, on cookies, and that is my medicine, and I don't do nothing. And I live minimally, and I don't like to buy a bunch of stuff I don't need, because one day I'll be gone, and I don't want somebody else to have to throw away all my stuff. So I just try and keep it simple, you know. Keep a couple things that maybe I could pass down to my nieces, but this is my legacy. So I want to thank everybody who supported me with a prayer. You know, and that's the thing is, I'm not setting the intention that I'm just asking for money here. I'm mostly looking for prayers, and if you know of a place, you know, within a 5-hour drive or so, 6 hours, because I don't think Mom can handle much more of a longer drive than that, unless it's like 5 hours, then I could get her there and set up, and then I could come back and get all the stuff later, kind of thing. But I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you guys in my corner. You know, it's a lot easier. I've always relied on the kindness of strangers. Excuse me. It's not nut stuff. That's gross. That's not cute, Margie. I've always had to rely on the kindness of strangers because my own vibrational frequency just, I don't know. People like, I've just always been drawn to those people that like to watch people suffer for some reason, because they suffered themselves and they let the darkness turn in them. So what I'm trying to do with my whole entire life is omit the darkness and not let it get me, because I let it got me for years when I walked away from God, Jesus Christ, and now I'm embracing Him, all of it, whatever it is, you know. I'll bless people. I'll devout. You know, I gave my soul to God. I didn't sell my soul to God. And that's a big difference. I gave it willingly and freely, and that's how I know that, you know, and because Jesse Zaboter tells stories about how men being pulled up through concrete, you know, because they gave their spirit to God and repented. That if, you know, literally, I mean, people don't, it's outworldly, the power that God has. If you look at all the storms and stuff, now they're still starting to. I still have an air quality notification on my phone, which is weird because when you look out the window, the air is clear because the storms pass through, and so the air quality is freaking substantially better in Salem, Oregon. But because they want their money, because they're living for the Dark Lord, oh, it's terrible here. We're still under duress, you know. No. And now the House of Cards has fallen and all the creepy tins in it and stuff like that. And so it's just one day at a time, one moment at a time. Sometimes like I've been waking up in the middle of the night, you know, and then with that trepidation, you know, and then it's just like, Marge, it's just more time to get to spend with God. You know, just give it all. Give him all your stuff, you know, and just see what he can do, Marge. Just see what he can do. I'm excited. It's just I'm skittish. I'm scared. I've always been scared. I'm just my nerves are up here all the time. So when your nerves are up here, you're receiving more data. So you're receiving more data, and it takes a little bit longer to be like, oh, is that good for me or is that bad? You know. Because not everything is good for you, but not everything is bad. That's all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.